Dear fellow rebels out there, welcome to our monthly Rebel Toolbox community event. We have Marcel
Hi.
and I am Daniela. Nice to have you. And again, as always, we're going to go over all the good changes since last time we met. Do you want to start, Marcel?
Yes, I will. Um, I think last time we mentioned the Rebel SDK, the software development kit. So that's what I've been focusing on over the last month, particularly creating the first library, so a Rebel engine add-on that you can optionally add to your games if you want to use it or not. The library that we've been working on is the SQLite library, which is a database library, which allows you to add a database to your game for whatever reason, whether you want to just store scores and things like that in any format that is not a text file, you actually want to use a database, then we have the SQLite database that we will be able to use for your games for any reason whatsoever. The main thing that I've wanted to achieve with the software development kit is for it to be as easy to use as possible. So anybody who wants to contribute to Rebel Engine by creating libraries or using other third-party libraries and just adding them on to Rebel going forward, it should be as easy as possible to do. So for example, if I want to add the SQLite library, it should be a simple case of creating a new project with the SQLite third-party library in it, patching it onto the Rebel SDK, and creating the methods to access and feedback results to and from the Rebel engine. So the SQLite library will be open source, as with SQLite itself, which is in the public domain, so that you can then use that as an example going forward as an easy way to create a third-party library. And what I'm trying to do is make it demonstrate that it's created in such a way that it is as easy as possible to create. To that end, obviously, spending a lot of time creating the tools in the background to compile not just the SDK, but also the same tools will be then used to compile any library that you want to create. So if you want to compile it for Linux, Windows, Mac, Android, iOS, or the web, whichever platform or all of them, you should be able to compile them all for that. So the SDK will be easy to compile, but also it will be provided in compiled format. So all the libraries will be there, compiled, ready to go for you to just be able to plug into your library. And the library, the SQLite library itself, will be likewise easy to compile, but also be provided with all the platform libraries so that you can easily plug them into your Rebel game. So if you want to just use the libraries, you should be able to just open up the tools that are used to connect the library, and the help files will be updated to support that. And then you just copy and paste literally all the library files into your game, and it should all just work. And that's what we want to do. That is the goal we want to do. Now, the game engine that we're basing Rebel Engine on has the same tools, but those tools are incredibly complicated to use. I mean, the mere fact that I've been spending weeks just trying to work out how to do it, never mind how to do it simply, gives you an indication of that. And that is why I've decided to focus on making it as easy as possible for anyone else wanting to use the SDK, or for that matter, any library, or update the library, or create their own libraries, etc., that it will be as easy as possible for everyone to use. So once that's all set up and going, obviously, like volunteers to give it a try, to check out the help files and make sure that it all is as easy as I'm claiming it to be, and that feedback will be appreciated. So if anybody wants to volunteer to help with that testing, let me know.
So that was a great update from you, Marcel. Thank you very much. It's been a big step forward from the technical side. Now, from the admin side of things, I've been working on a grant application for Rebel Toolbox because we would like to improve Rebel Toolbox. Now, the first thing that we would like to do is to change it from a for-profit company, which is cheap and easy to run, to a not-for-profit company or a charity even. Now, when I looked into this, it turned out that any other option, so a straightforward company is cheap and easy to run. Anything else takes a lot more time, effort, and involvement, and also a little bit more money, which surprised me. The second part that I think would be incredibly good for Rebel is to open up Rebel to the Apple community. So currently we don't have any hardware, and therefore we can't even test or build anything on native Apple equipment, and that is part of the grant application. Last but not least, there are skills we don't have between the two of us, and some of the skills would need somebody to get paid to help us. So until we have volunteers helping us out and sharing their knowledge, paying somebody to put effort into it and making it better is the only way to go. So that's the reason for a grant application. Fingers crossed, we should know in early springtime. It's not been submitted. So again, if you want to help Rebel and you are a professional grant writer or you're simply very good at making a case for Rebel, then do join us on that front.
Sounds good.
I hope it's going to happen because it would be great to see Rebel grow and have a really good first version that people like me find easy to download, open, and so on. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah, and that would also mean then we would have more education tools and the documentation would be brought up to date to look a bit more modern and things like that.
Exactly.
The tool itself would get a few updates. So when we started with this, Vulkan was the big thing, whereas now it's being phased out in some cases already. So there's so much to do. And on our own, in our spare time, it's just a bit much. So therefore, a bit of a cash injection could really help make this a better project. And the reason why we want to make this a better project, obviously, to have a game engine for ourselves. More importantly, though, to show the world that just because there is a group and a team that is working in tech, it does not have to be a toxic environment. So, again, anyone is welcome here. If you have any skills, we would love to hear from you. We don't judge by any of the isms that are out there. Anyone is welcome, as I said. The only exceptions are the bullies of this world.
Yeah, the only thing we don't tolerate is intolerance.
Exactly, exactly. So join us either with your time or alternatively with donations and or hardware if you have. And Rebel will be a great product before long.
Sounds good.
Yes. That was my update for this month.
That's good.
And
We've
with
made some
that,
good progress.
sorry?
I think we've made good progress in the last
Yes.
month.
Yes. And it will continue this way. Um, I know it will, because some of the hurdles outside of Rebel that have come up this year have now settled down, which means rather than focusing on some of the day-to-day issues that come up in one's life, we now can focus a lot more time on Rebel. And the more progress there is, the more happiness there is around it as well, and excitement, and that leads to more progress.
Exactly.
And yeah, I'm really excited about the end of this year. It's another 2.5 months. We've got big plans for next year as well, and I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Good. And with that, I say thanks a lot for watching and listening.
Thank
See
you.
you next time, second Tuesday of the month. And with that, I say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.